tattoos have been a part of human culture for thousands of years, and evidence of tattooing can be found in many ancient civilizations. From the Egyptians to the Maori of New Zealand, tattoos have held a variety of meanings and significance throughout history. In this article, we will explore the ancient art of tattooing, its history, and its cultural significance. The history of tattooing can be traced back to the ancient Egyptians. Tattoos were used as a form of religious and cultural expression, and many of the designs had symbolic meanings. The Egyptians believed that tattoos were a way to protect the wearer from harm, and they often included images of gods and goddesses. The art of tattooing spread to other cultures, such as the Greeks and Romans, where tattoos were often used to mark slaves and criminals. In Polynesian culture, tattoos were considered a sign of social status and were often used to mark important life events, such as marriage and childbirth. The Maori of New Zealand, for example, used tattoos to mark their rank, lineage, and achievements. The designs often depicted animals, such as sharks and lizards, which were believed to provide protection and strength to the wearer. In Japan, tattoos were considered a sign of criminality during the Edo period. However, the art of tattooing flourished in the underworld, where intricate and colorful designs were created to mark the wearer as a member of a particular gang or organization. Today, tattoos are still associated with the Yakuza, a powerful criminal organization in Japan. In some cultures, tattoos were used as a form of medicine. The Ainu people of Japan, for example, used tattoos to treat various ailments, such as rheumatism and back pain. The designs often included images of animals, plants, and spirits, which were believed to possess healing powers. The art of tattooing was also practiced in ancient Europe. The Celts, for example, used tattoos to mark their warriors and to signify their social status. The designs often depicted animals, such as wolves and bears, which were believed to embody strength and courage. In Scandinavia, tattoos were used to mark important life events, such as marriage and childbirth. The designs often included images of animals, such as dragons and serpents, which were believed to provide protection and strength to the wearer. In ancient America, tattoos were used by many indigenous cultures. The Inca of South America, for example, used tattoos to mark their warriors and to signify their social status. The designs often included images of animals, such as jaguars and eagles, which were believed to embody strength and courage. The Aztecs of Mexico also used tattoos to mark important life events, such as marriage and childbirth. The designs often included images of animals, such as snakes and jaguars, which were believed to possess spiritual power. In conclusion, the ancient art of tattooing has held a variety of meanings and significance throughout history. From religious and cultural expression to social status and medicine, tattoos have played an important role in many cultures. Today, tattoos continue to be a popular form of self-expression and art, with many people choosing to adorn their bodies with designs that hold personal meaning and significance. Tattoos have been around for thousands of years, with evidence of tattooing found on mummies from ancient Egypt and prehistoric human remains. Tattoos have held many different meanings and significance throughout history, and the designs have varied greatly depending on the culture and time period. One of the earliest known examples of tattooing can be found on the mummified remains of a man known as Otzi the Iceman, who lived over 5,000 years ago in what is now Italy. Otzi had several tattoos on his body, including lines and crosses on his wrists, ankles, and lower back. It is believed that these tattoos may have been used for medicinal purposes, as they were found on parts of the body that would have been in pain or susceptible to injury. In ancient Egypt, tattoos were often used as a form of religious expression. Many tattoos depicted gods and goddesses, and some were thought to offer protection or guidance in the afterlife. Priests and priestesses were known to have elaborate tattoos covering their entire bodies, and some mummies have been found with tattoos of animals, symbols, and even hieroglyphics. In Polynesian culture, tattoos were a symbol of status and prestige. They were often used to mark important life events, such as reaching adulthood or getting married. The designs were intricate and highly symbolic, with each element representing something specific. For example, a turtle shell might represent strength and resilience, while a shark tooth might represent power and protection. In the Maori culture of New Zealand, tattoos were known as moko, and were a sign of both status and identity. The designs were highly personalized and often depicted ancestral symbols or family history. The process of getting a moko was painful and time-consuming, as the tattoos were created using chisels and ink. In ancient Japan, tattoos were used as a form of punishment for criminals. The tattoos were often placed on the forehead or other visible areas of the body, and depicted the crime that had been committed. Later on, tattoos became a form of self-expression for artists and outcasts, with elaborate designs covering the entire body. In modern times, tattoos have become increasingly popular and mainstream. People get tattoos for a variety of reasons, from personal expression to cultural identity to simply liking the way they look. tattoo artists now have access to advanced technology and equipment, allowing them to create intricate and detailed designs that would have been impossible in ancient times. Despite the changes in technology and culture, tattoos remain a powerful form of self-expression and a way to connect with our ancient roots. Whether you're getting a small tattoo on your wrist or a full-body design inspired by ancient cultures, there's no denying the beauty and significance of this timeless art form. Tattoos have been a part of human culture for thousands of years. Ancient tattoos were used as a form of expression, identification, and even as a status symbol. The history of tattoos dates back to ancient times, with evidence of tattooing found on mummies in Egypt dating back to 2000 BCE. In ancient times, tattoos were created using primitive tools such as bones, needles, and thorns. The ink used was typically made from natural ingredients such as plant extracts, charcoal, and ash. These ancient tattoos were often created using simple designs such as dots, lines, and geometric shapes. One of the most well-known ancient tattooing cultures was that of the Polynesians. The Polynesians used tattoos to identify themselves as members of a particular tribe or clan. They believed that the tattoos had spiritual significance and provided protection from evil spirits. The intricate designs were created using a technique called tapping, in which a sharp tool was used to puncture the skin and deposit ink. Another ancient culture that used tattoos was the ancient Egyptians. They believed that tattoos were a form of protection and also used them to symbolize their devotion to certain gods and goddesses. Egyptian tattoos were typically created using black ink and depicted animals, such as cats, snakes, and birds. In ancient China, tattoos were used to mark criminals and slaves. The tattoos were often placed on the face or forehead and were used as a form of punishment and identification. However, some Chinese also used tattoos to symbolize their allegiance to a particular gang or society. In Japan, tattoos were used as a form of art and self-expression. The Japanese tattooing tradition, known as irezumi, dates back to the 7th century. Tattoos were used to depict religious and mythological themes and were often created using a traditional technique known as tabori, in which a handheld needle was used to insert the ink. The ancient Greeks and Romans also used tattoos, although they were not as common as in other cultures. Tattoos were used to mark soldiers and slaves and were sometimes used as a form of punishment. In many cultures, tattoos were also used as a form of medicine. The ancient Egyptians, for example, used tattoos to treat certain medical conditions, such as arthritis and infertility. Today, tattoos are still a popular form of self-expression and have evolved into an art form. Modern tattooing techniques and equipment have come a long way since ancient times, but the tradition and symbolism behind tattoos continue to hold significant meaning for many people. Tattoos were not as common in ancient Greece as they were in other cultures. However, there is evidence that tattoos were used by the ancient Greeks, particularly by soldiers and athletes. Greek soldiers sometimes had tattoos to mark their military achievements or to symbolize their loyalty to a particular unit. These tattoos were often simple designs, such as a Greek letter or a small symbol. Athletes also sometimes had tattoos to symbolize their accomplishments in athletic competitions. For example, a wrestler might have a tattoo depicting a wrestling move, or a runner might have a tattoo of a laurel wreath, which was a symbol of victory in ancient Greece. Tattoos were not as socially acceptable in ancient Greece as they are today, and there was a stigma attached to having a tattoo. The philosopher Aristotle even wrote that a mark should not be impressed upon the body, as a slave's branding iron is impressed upon his body. Despite this stigma, tattoos were still used by some members of ancient Greek society. It is believed that the Greek word for tattoo, stigma, comes from the Greek verb styzine, which means to prick. The use of tattoos in ancient Greece declined over time, and by the time of the Roman Empire, tattoos were not commonly used by the Greeks. However, the tradition of tattooing continued in other cultures, and tattooing has remained an important form of self-expression and cultural identity throughout history. Polynesian tattoos are some of the most well-known and intricate tattoo designs in the world. These tattoos have been used by the Polynesian people for thousands of years and are an important part of their culture and identity. The Polynesian people live in the Pacific Ocean, and their tattoos are found throughout the region, including in Samoa, Tonga, Fiji, and New Zealand. The Polynesians believed that their tattoos had spiritual significance and provided protection from evil spirits. The designs were also used to identify themselves as members of a particular tribe or clan. Polynesian tattoos are created using a technique called tapping, in which a sharp tool, such as a bone or a piece of shark tooth, is used to puncture the skin and deposit ink. The ink used in Polynesian tattoos is made from natural ingredients, such as plant extracts and charcoal. The designs used in Polynesian tattoos are typically intricate and geometric, featuring patterns of lines and shapes. The designs often depict symbols of nature, such as waves, turtles, and birds, as well as symbols of strength and courage, such as the shark or the warrior. One of the most well-known Polynesian tattoo designs is the Maori tattoo, which is created using the tabori technique. The Maori tattoo is an important symbol of Maori identity, and culture, and features intricate designs that cover the entire face and body. In Polynesian culture, the process of getting a tattoo was a sacred ritual. The tattoo artist, known as a tufuga, was highly respected and had years of training and experience. The tattooing process was often accompanied by singing and chanting, and the tattoos were seen as a symbol of strength, courage, and spiritual power. Today, Polynesian tattoos are still an important part of Polynesian culture and identity. Many Polynesians choose to get tattoos as a way to connect with their cultural heritage and express their identity. Polynesian tattoo designs have also become popular in other parts of the world and are admired for their intricate beauty and cultural significance. Tattooing in ancient China dates back to the Neolithic period, around 5000 BCE, and has a rich and complex history. The Chinese were among the first to develop a system of writing, and their tattoos often featured intricate characters and symbols that represented ideas and concepts. Tattoos were used in ancient China for a variety of purposes, including marking criminals and slaves, as well as signifying membership in a particular social class or profession. Some tattoos were also used for spiritual and religious purposes. One of the most well-known ancient Chinese tattoos is the dragon tattoo, which is still popular today. The dragon was a symbol of power and strength in ancient China, and the dragon tattoo was often worn by members of the imperial court and other elite groups. Other popular tattoo designs in ancient China included images of animals, such as tigers and birds, as well as symbols of longevity, prosperity, and good fortune. These designs were often used to protect the wearer from harm and to bring good luck and prosperity. Tattooing in ancient China was typically done by hand, using a sharp needle or a brush to apply ink to the skin. The ink used in ancient Chinese tattoos was made from natural ingredients, such as plant extracts and animal bile. Tattooing was not as widely accepted in ancient China as it is today, and there was a stigma attached to having a tattoo. In fact, tattoos were often associated with criminals and other social outcasts. Despite this stigma, tattooing continued to be practiced in China throughout history and has remained an important form of self-expression and cultural identity. Today, tattoos are becoming increasingly popular in China, particularly among younger generations who see tattoos as a form of self-expression and personal style. Tattooing in the Philippines has a long and rich history that dates back to pre-colonial times. The indigenous people of the Philippines, such as the Kalinga, Ifugao, and Visayan, have used tattoos as a form of cultural identity, spiritual protection, and aesthetic adornment for centuries. The traditional Filipino tattoos are called badak or patak, and are created using a hand-tapping technique known as badak. The designs are usually created using natural pigments, such as soot, and applied to the skin using a bamboo needle. The designs used in Filipino tattoos are often geometric and symmetrical, featuring intricate patterns of lines and shapes. They often depict images of animals, such as snakes, birds, and crocodiles, as well as symbols of strength, courage, and protection. In some Filipino cultures, tattoos were also used to mark important life events, such as coming-of-age ceremonies or marriage. For example, the Kalinga people of the Cordillera region used tattoos to mark the transition from childhood to adulthood, and the tattoos were seen as a symbol of bravery and strength. During the Spanish colonization of the Philippines, tattooing was discouraged and even outlawed in some areas. However, the tradition of tattooing continued among some indigenous communities and has recently experienced a resurgence in popularity. Today, many Filipinos are proud to wear traditional tattoos as a way to connect with their cultural heritage and express their identity. Some tattoo artists have also created new designs that incorporate traditional Filipino motifs, giving them a modern twist while still honoring the rich history and traditions of Filipino tattooing. Traditional Filipino tattoos, also known as badak or patak, are a form of body art that have been practiced in the Philippines for centuries. These tattoos were used as a form of cultural identity, as well as for spiritual protection and aesthetic adornment. The designs used in Filipino tattoos are often inspired by nature and feature images of animals such as snakes, lizards, and birds, as well as plants and other natural elements. The tattoos also feature intricate patterns of lines and shapes that are often arranged in symmetrical and geometric designs. One of the most popular traditional Filipino tattoo designs is the badak or badak design, which is created using a hand-tapping technique. The design is created by puncturing the skin with a bamboo needle, which is then dipped into ink made from natural ingredients such as soot. In the Kalinga tribe, which is located in the northern part of the Philippines, traditional tattoos were used as a rite of passage for young men and women. The tattoos were seen as a symbol of courage, strength, and bravery, and were believed to provide spiritual protection. The traditional Filipino tattooing process is a sacred ritual that is often accompanied by chanting and other spiritual practices. The tattoo artist, known as a mambabatak, is highly respected and revered in the community. The tattoos are created using traditional methods and tools, such as bamboo needles and natural pigments. In addition to being a form of cultural identity, traditional Filipino tattoos were also used for medicinal purposes. The tattoos were believed to have healing properties and were used to treat a variety of ailments such as headaches and arthritis. Today, traditional Filipino tattoos are still practiced by some indigenous communities and are becoming increasingly popular among younger generations who are looking to reconnect with their cultural heritage. Some Filipino tattoo artists have also incorporated traditional designs into modern tattooing styles, creating a unique fusion of old and new that honors the rich history and traditions of Filipino tattooing. Hawaiian tattoos, also known as tatau, are a form of body art that have a rich and ancient history. The traditional tattoos of Hawaii were used as a form of cultural expression and spiritual protection, and were highly revered in Hawaiian culture. The designs used in Hawaiian tattoos are often inspired by nature, featuring images of animals such as sharks, turtles, and birds, as well as plants and other natural elements. They are created using a traditional technique called hand tapping, which involves puncturing the skin with a needle and tapping the ink into the skin. In Hawaiian culture, tattoos were seen as a symbol of strength, courage, and spiritual protection. They were often used to signify social status or rank, and were worn by warriors, chiefs, and other members of the elite class. One of the most iconic Hawaiian tattoo designs is the honu or sea turtle, which is seen as a symbol of good luck, protection, and longevity. Other popular designs include images of the sun, waves, and other natural elements. Hawaiian tattoos were also used to tell a person's life story, with each tattoo representing a significant event or milestone in their life. For example, a tattoo of a shark might represent a person's strength and bravery in overcoming a difficult challenge, while a tattoo of a wave might represent their love for the ocean. In the 19th century, the practice of tattooing was banned in Hawaii by Christian missionaries who saw it as a heathen practice. However, the tradition was kept alive by Hawaiian families who continued to pass down the art of tattooing from generation to generation. Today, Hawaiian tattoos are experiencing a resurgence in popularity, with many people seeking to reconnect with their cultural heritage and express their personal identity through body art. Some Hawaiian tattoo artists have also created new designs that incorporate traditional motifs, giving them a modern twist while still honoring the rich history and traditions of Hawaiian tattooing. The history of tattoo ink dates back thousands of years, and its origins can be traced to ancient civilizations such as Egypt and China. In fact, the earliest evidence of tattooing can be found on a mummy dating back to 3300 BCE, where ink was used to create intricate designs on the skin. In ancient Egypt, tattooing was a popular practice among both men and women, and was often used to mark a person's social status or religious affiliation. The ink used in Egyptian tattoos was made from a mixture of carbon and ash, which was mixed with water and applied to the skin using a needle. In China, tattooing was also a popular practice that dated back to the 3rd century BCE. The ink used in Chinese tattoos was made from a mixture of soot and water, and was applied to the skin using a needle that was dipped in the ink and then tapped into the skin. One of the most interesting stories about the history of tattoo ink comes from the Polynesian islands, where ink was made from the soot of burnt plant material mixed with water. Legend has it that the Polynesian god of tattooing, Tauroa, discovered the first ink while sitting under a tree that had been struck by lightning. He noticed that the sap from the tree had turned black from the heat of the lightning, and he used this ink to create the first Polynesian tattoos. In the modern era, tattoo ink has evolved significantly and is now made from a variety of different materials, including carbon, iron oxide, and titanium dioxide. Some tattoo artists even create their own custom ink recipes, mixing together different pigments to create unique colors and effects. Despite the advancements in tattoo ink technology, many traditional tattoo artists still use natural ingredients to create their ink, honoring the ancient traditions and practices of their ancestors. From burnt plant material to modern-day pigments, the history of tattoo ink is a fascinating and ever-evolving story that continues to be written with each new tattoo. Indian tattoos have a rich and diverse history, with designs and styles that vary greatly depending on the region and culture. From the intricate henna designs of India's wedding ceremonies to the bold tribal tattoos of the northeastern states, Indian tattoos have a unique and fascinating story to tell. One of the most famous Indian tattoo designs is the henna tattoo, also known as mehndi. Henna is a plant that grows in hot, dry climates and has been used for centuries to create temporary tattoos on the skin. Henna tattoos are often used to celebrate special occasions such as weddings and festivals, and can feature intricate designs of flowers, paisleys, and other traditional motifs. In the northeastern states of India, tribal tattoos have been a popular form of body art for centuries. These tattoos often feature geometric designs and bold patterns, and were used to signify a person's social status or achievements. For example, warriors might have tattoos on their arms or chests to mark their bravery in battle, while hunters might have tattoos of animals to symbolize their hunting skills. Another popular Indian tattoo design is the bindi, a small dot or design worn on the forehead by both men and women. The bindi has a long history in Indian culture and is often seen as a symbol of spirituality, protection, and good luck. In recent years, Indian tattoo artists have been pushing the boundaries of traditional designs, incorporating modern elements and techniques into their work. Some artists use vibrant colors and bold lines to create eye-catching designs, while others take inspiration from street art and graffiti to create edgy and unconventional tattoos. Regardless of the style or design, Indian tattoos continue to be an important part of the country's rich cultural heritage and are a powerful expression of personal identity and artistic expression. American tattoos have a long and storied history, dating back to the early days of the country's founding. Tattooing was first introduced to the United States by sailors, who often had tattoos of nautical symbols such as anchors and mermaids to signify their travels and adventures. In the early 20th century, tattooing became popular among the working class, with many people getting tattoos as a way to show solidarity with their fellow workers or to commemorate important events in their lives. During this time, tattoo artists often worked out of small shops and parlors, and the designs they created were often simple and bold, featuring classic American iconography such as eagles, roses, and flags. In the 1940s and 1950s, tattoos became associated with biker and outlaw culture, with many members of motorcycle clubs sporting tattoos as a way to signify their membership and loyalty. These tattoos often featured skull and crossbones, flames, and other aggressive designs. In the 1960s and 1970s, tattoos experienced a resurgence in popularity, with many young people getting tattoos as a form of self-expression and rebellion. During this time, tattoo artists began experimenting with new techniques and designs, incorporating more intricate and detailed images into their work. Today, American tattoos continue to evolve and thrive, with artists incorporating a wide range of styles and influences into their work. Some artists specialize in traditional American designs, while others incorporate elements of Japanese, Polynesian, or other cultural styles into their tattoos. One of the most popular American tattoo styles today is black and gray realism, which features detailed, lifelike portraits and images rendered in shades of black and gray. Another popular style is watercolor tattoos, which use bright, vibrant colors and flowing, abstract designs to create a unique and artistic look. Whether you prefer classic American designs or more contemporary styles, there's no denying the enduring appeal of tattoos in American culture and the role they have played in shaping the country's rich and diverse artistic landscape. Chinese tattoos have a rich and fascinating history that spans thousands of years. Tattooing has been practiced in China since ancient times and has played an important role in the country's cultural and artistic heritage. In ancient China, tattoos were often used to signify a person's social status or occupation. For example, criminals might be tattooed with marks to identify them as lawbreakers, while members of certain ethnic groups might have tattoos to signify their tribe or clan. Over time, tattoos in China became more elaborate and intricate, featuring highly stylized images of dragons, tigers, and other powerful creatures from Chinese mythology. These tattoos were often used to signify a person's strength, courage, and loyalty, and were highly prized by warriors and other members of the military. In the Tang Dynasty, tattooing became associated with spiritual and religious beliefs, with many people getting tattoos as a way to honor the gods or to seek protection and good fortune. During this time, tattoos were often used in conjunction with other forms of body modification, such as scarification and branding. In the Ming Dynasty, tattooing became more popular among women, with many courtesans and concubines getting tattoos as a way to enhance their beauty and allure. These tattoos often featured delicate floral designs or other ornate patterns, and were considered highly desirable by men. In modern times, Chinese tattoos continue to be a popular form of body art, with many people getting tattoos to express their individuality or to pay homage to their cultural heritage. Popular designs include calligraphy tattoos featuring Chinese characters, as well as tattoos featuring images of koi fish, cherry blossoms, and other traditional symbols. One of the most popular styles of Chinese tattooing today is the watercolor style, which features bold, bright colors and free-flowing designs that often incorporate elements of Chinese brush painting. Other popular styles include black and gray realism, which features detailed, lifelike portraits and images rendered in shades of black and gray. Whether you're interested in traditional Chinese tattoo designs or more contemporary styles, there's no denying the rich and diverse history of Chinese tattooing and the role it has played in shaping the country's cultural identity. Japanese tattoos, also known as irezumi, have a rich and fascinating history that dates back thousands of years. Tattooing has been practiced in Japan since ancient times and has played an important role in the country's cultural and artistic heritage. In Japan, tattoos were initially associated with criminal activity and were used as a form of punishment. However, over time, tattoos began to be associated with bravery, strength, and honor, and became popular among the samurai class. During the Edo period, tattoos became highly stylized and were used to convey messages about a person's identity, beliefs, and social status. Irezumi artists developed highly intricate designs featuring dragons, tigers, and other mythical creatures, as well as traditional Japanese symbols such as cherry blossoms, waves, and peonies. In the early 20th century, tattoos in Japan fell out of favor due to their association with criminal activity and were often associated with the Yakuza, a Japanese mafia organization. However, in recent years, tattoos have experienced a resurgence in popularity and are now widely accepted as a form of self-expression and artistic expression. One of the most popular styles of Japanese tattooing today is the traditional irezumi style, which features highly stylized images of dragons, tigers, and other mythical creatures. These tattoos are often rendered in bright, vibrant colors and feature intricate patterns and designs. Another popular style is the black and gray realism style, which features detailed, lifelike portraits and images rendered in shades of black and gray. This style often incorporates elements of traditional Japanese design, such as cherry blossoms, waves, and koi fish. Japanese tattoos are also known for their use of symbolism and hidden meanings. For example, the koi fish is often used to symbolize perseverance and determination, while the cherry blossom represents the transience of life. Whether you're interested in traditional Japanese tattoo designs or more contemporary styles, there's no denying the rich and diverse history of Japanese tattooing and the important role it has played in shaping the country's cultural identity. Yakuza tattoos are a unique subset of Japanese tattoos that are closely associated with the Yakuza, a notorious criminal organization in Japan. The Yakuza, which has been around for centuries, is known for its strict code of honor and its use of violence to maintain its power and influence. In the world of Yakuza tattoos, size and complexity matter. Yakuza tattoos are often full-body designs that cover the entire back, chest, arms, and legs. These tattoos typically feature highly stylized images of dragons, tigers, and other mythical creatures, as well as traditional Japanese symbols such as cherry blossoms, waves, and peonies. Yakuza tattoos are also known for their use of hidden meanings and symbolism. For example, a spider web tattoo on the elbow is said to symbolize that the wearer is trapped in a life of crime, while a dragon tattoo on the chest is said to represent strength and power. One of the most distinctive features of Yakuza tattoos is their use of traditional Japanese design elements, such as the use of waves to create the appearance of movement and flow. Many Yakuza tattoos also feature detailed depictions of Japanese architecture and landscapes, as well as intricate calligraphy. In addition to their aesthetic appeal, Yakuza tattoos also serve a practical purpose. Yakuza members often use their tattoos as a way to communicate their rank and status within the organization, with more elaborate tattoos being reserved for higher-ranking members. Despite their association with criminal activity, Yakuza tattoos have also been embraced by some members of the general public as a form of self-expression and artistic expression. However, it is important to note that the Yakuza itself remains a highly secretive and dangerous organization, and should not be romanticized or glorified in any way. Korean tattoos have a rich history that dates back thousands of years. In ancient Korea, tattoos were used to signify social status, as well as to protect against evil spirits and other supernatural forces. During the Joseon dynasty, tattoos were considered taboo and were often associated with criminal activity. However, in recent years, tattoos have become increasingly popular among younger generations in Korea, and are now widely accepted as a form of self-expression and artistic expression. One of the most popular styles of Korean tattooing is the blackwork style, which features bold, graphic designs rendered in shades of black and gray. These tattoos often feature geometric patterns and designs, as well as images of animals and other natural elements. Another popular style is the watercolor style, which features vibrant, colorful designs that resemble watercolor paintings. These tattoos often incorporate images of flowers, birds, and other natural elements, and are known for their soft, dreamlike quality. Korean tattoos are also known for their use of symbolism and hidden meanings. For example, the lotus flower is often used to symbolize purity and enlightenment, while the tiger represents courage and strength. In addition to their aesthetic appeal, Korean tattoos are also seen as a way to connect with traditional Korean culture and heritage. Many Korean tattoo artists draw inspiration from traditional Korean art and design, incorporating elements such as calligraphy and traditional patterns into their work. Overall, Korean tattoos offer a unique and dynamic form of self-expression, drawing on centuries of rich cultural heritage and artistic tradition. Whether you're interested in bold blackwork designs or soft, dreamy watercolor tattoos, there's no shortage of creative and talented Korean tattoo artists to choose from.